here. Anyways, thought I'd hop on real quick. I've been doing all the research about Operation Gothic Serpent, Battle of Mogadishu, or as most people would know, Black Hawk movie that came out. But anyways, started out, I was just doing some research on First Sergeant Randall Shugart, him and his M14, stuff like that. Then I was reading about Gary Gordon, CAR-15 rifle. And then, man, I got pulled down into the rabbit hole on this thing. It just blows my mind how much crap went on during that whole situation. The movie doesn't even cover it. But I'll tell you what, with the content I'm putting out, I've been trying to get all the names of the chief warrant officers that flew the Blackhawks. Which Blackhawks? Hey, Antonino, thanks for dropping in, man. Which Blackhawks that each of the Ranger Chalks are in. Now, a lot of you guys, the term Chalk or whatnot, it's similar to squad or like fire team. Well, I guess it depends what branch you're in, but the Rangers in it, they refer to it as a Chalk. But I've been going through like records and all sorts of crap trying to get all the information on all the different Blackhawks and who flew and where they were located at. And I found a few pretty decent ones. But man, I mean, some of these chief warrant officers, they were a bitch to find. And a lot of it has to do with the 160 Night Stalkers, or SOAR. They are like the special forces helicopter pilots, like insertions, the works, like the best. And so like a lot of them, like a lot of people that are in special operations, tend to not really talk too much about what they do when they get home. It's the quiet professional, which is kind of a standard for a lot of the operators and the different branches and whatnot. These guys, though, I was just so impressed when I was reading about, some of the citations, and some of these guys like getting silver stars from prior missions and things like that. These pilots are nuts. I mean, like, they are surgical. And so like Mike Durant, holy shit, are you serious, Antonino? Man, that is a weird coincidence that we're talking about Mogadishu incident with the Blackhawks, and then all of a sudden, boom, I'm gonna have to look into that, man. Boy, that's some crazy shit. But anyways, the chief. Oh no, man, I've been doing I've been going over the whole Black Hawk Down that took place in 1993, all the way from the Navy SEALs swimming along the shore to make sure there's no mines or anything like that, and then the Marines rolling in, doing an amphibious assault, taking the airport, taking the beaches and things like that, and then the rest of the Army coming over and mobilizing and whatnot for that NATO mission for Operation. Originally, it was Restore. What was it? Restore Hope, or I don't remember exactly the name of it right off the top of my head, but then it evolved into Operation Gothic Serpent, and that's when the whole Black Hawk Down incident, that operation that I was covering. Dude, that's nuts though, man. I'll have to go look into that. But these pilots like Mike Durant, yet Elvis Wolcott, some of the Green Berets and stuff that had been flown on helicopters with these dudes said they were the most professional guys ever. They're called the Night Stalkers because the majority of their flights are done at nighttime. A lot of them done with night vision only. And back then, night vision wasn't that great. It was still a lot, they were still in development of some decent nods for people to use. So, I'm picturing these dudes doing this. And, you watch the film, there you see, two of them get hit. Actually, four choppers got hit. Two crashed in the middle of the city. One crashed kind of on the outskirts, and one of them actually limped back to where their base was at. But like, there was like hundreds of RPGs being shot in the air, not just like one or two lucky one. And the reason for it, and why Black Hawk Down incident, Gothic Serpent was such a learning situation for the United States military is this. We rely on speed. With the Marines being the amphibious assault force or whatnot, if you're in a MEU or Marine Expedient Unit, excuse me, coughing here, they mobilize and move fast. You've got the U.S. Army, the airborne, either the 82nd or what the hell is the other one? 101st? I don't know. I'm not an Army dude. But anyways, they can mobilize super fast, so it gives us the upper hand. These warlords, this guy in Somalia, he caught on to us when they were running Delta operations prior to the big operation where everything bad happened, he caught on to the fact that, you know what, if we can get these guys stalled, their Air Force is basically what's you know, the one up in everything in which way with us, because, you know, they have the lay of the land. They know it. It's their city. It's their country. They realized, though, if we can hit those choppers, it'd be a pain in the ass for them to get in to even be able to do anything. So they had roadblocks set up for the convoys. It's almost like they knew what was going to happen. They had RPG teams set up all throughout Mogadishu, and they would just alert each other when the Americans, you know, the U.S. is driving through the streets, or when the helicopters start dropping down for insertion. And so, like, you know, that Black Hawk Down incident, there was just so much that went wrong so quickly, you know, right in the very beginning. It's just tragic. I mean, you've got Private First Class, you know, one of the Rangers in Chalk 4, he was on Super 6-7 helicopter. You know, he goes to rappel out, they're dodging RPG. He goes to fast rope down the rope, let's go, and drop 70 feet. And so, you know, then they have to get in Caesar, which is the rescue. You get the PJs, you get a bunch of those guys that are over in the Super 6-8 chopper and whatnot. And I mean, it's just after that, it just freaking crazy. And the thing about it is, we can all blame Bill Clinton for a lot of this crap, because they had requested, you know, they need armored vehicles to be rolling through an urban area like this. Yeah, Anthony, you know, it's nuts. I mean, you know, the Rangers took a nasty hit that day, and you know, here's the crazy thing. We still got the people captured we were going for. So I mean, the mission objective was completed. However, the loss of 18 and 6, 24 people, and you know, it's really sad. It's crazy to think some of those Rangers that were in those chalks in real life. You know, I'll be doing some more content on them. Two of these guys were just barely turned 18, which means they'd been in the military, you know, since they're 17 years old somehow. And it just blows my mind to think. And then, you know, I think about it and I'm like, well, you know what? I was only 18 at one point when I was, you know, and it's just crazy, like crazy to think about it and watching it. And, you know, being as old as I am now, you know, I'm in my 40s or whatever, but I look back and I'm thinking, you've got a bunch of 20-year-olds fighting in, you know, who barely have any responsibility, you know, growing up, just barely done with high school and all that crap, still living with their folks at one point, and now, you know, they're going off on a deployment for NATO, which was supposed to be kind of more of a show of force, peacekeeping, whatever, until it erupted and got into what it was. But it's just like, man, you've got 22-year-olds and, like, you know, E5 sergeants and stuff like that who are, you know, barely 25, barely, you know, somewhere around there. And it's just nuts. It's crazy to think back, but that's who it is. That's who a majority of our war fighters are. It's nuts to think that. And I just think, I look back and I look at my kids now and I'm like, you know, when I was your guys' age, you know, my oldest, it's just nuts. But, oh yeah, Anthony, you know, I was too, man. You know, it's funny how you grow up so fast. You wish you'd grow up faster. And then the older you get, it's like, man, time just goes by and your kids just grow up so fast. It's insane. But I don't know. I just thought that was some interesting stuff about the Night Stalkers. I'm going to try to do some more content on them. I mean, really, you know, we hear a lot about the operators and stuff like that, but I mean, there's all sorts of, you know, military job positions and whatnot like that are support, but they're just freaking badass. I mean, you know, you've got the Green Berets and you've got Delta, MARSOC, the SEALs, all that stuff. But then you don't, you know, there's tanks. You've got the Air Force PJs, for instance. You know, they're an elite unit. They have the longest school to go to out of any special operations. But we don't hear very much about them. They don't do any book deals or any of that crap like all the Navy SEALs do. I mean, Navy SEALs, they joke about it that you get your Trident, and then you get a book deal or something like that. But it's just nuts to think, you know, with all of it. Some other interesting stuff for any of you guys that have watched all the other content, because I do a lot of Vietnam. You know, when I was doing Benavides and just reading about all the unconventional warfare that the Green Berets were doing in Vietnam, I mean, like, You want to talk about kickstarting it? That's the Green Berets, man. I mean, training the South. Kennedy sending them all in before LBJ, accelerated the whole war and everything like that. And like, they're over there. There's all that cool Green Beret culture for their that MacSog. They had the cool like looking tiger stripe uniforms and all sorts of stuff like that. And it's just I look at this military culture. I look at how young it starts. Once you're enlisted, you go through all your training and stuff. And I thought, damn, man, that's just nuts. And then looking at my kids, and I just think, you're that age, you could be over there doing that stuff at this point. So I don't know. That's my weird thoughts and rants, guys. Once again, everybody that's been supporting my channel, thanks so much for helping me get over 1,000 subs. All the kind words and things about my wife. She's doing a lot better, guys. I appreciate that stuff as well. Antonino, thank you for dropping in the chat, sir, giving me somebody to at least talk to so I don't seem like some crazy person. But you guys all enjoy the rest of your evening. Take care.